Making their way on to the stage, then please welcome Team Genesis. Team help Nicky Romero and Yuki Sasaki. 35 lap race, there's 1 times fuel consumption, so not really too much to worry about. 2 times tyre wear, a rolling start, 18 corners, one of the greatest racetracks in the world. I cannot wait. The outside then will be Genesis with Dean Helt, the American driver.
What will be doing on these first few laps, but to go up to the deck, this is the first time it's BMW half as we go into the hairpin. Lamborghini at the inside contact. Oh no, Honda round, are they round? They spin, half spin, they managed to keep the car in one piece, but oh my word, that was such a mess into the hairpin there.
There as well. This is what happened down at the hairpin. On board we are here with Genesis. Keep an eye out on the left-hand side of your picture just up the road. Lambo into the side of Honda. That sends Honda spinning round. Porsche and Mercedes with nowhere to go. Genesis in the wars there too.
That's so bad. That is so bad.
It's undoubtedly some sort of penalty, I think, there. You can't be doing that in these events. We'll let our stewards, who are much more qualified than us, handle that. Team BMW, meanwhile, down to still P9. Of course, they were pole. Genesis and Porsche in our foreground contact as well. Porsche going from 0 to 0.
And the thing is, it's a very realistic possibility. We could end up with 1 part wet and 1 part dry the circuit. Here we are, though, with Mazda versus Nissan as they go 2 by 2 down the back straight. Mazda with the overspeed and with position. Genesis now to the inside. Whoa! Contact through 130R. Are they all going to face the right direction? Yes, they do. Who's going to be last of the late breakers into the Casio Triangle? On the inside we go. Porsche in a bit of a sandwich in the mix there as well. Genesis and Honda emerge side by side with one another on the exit of the corner. Genesis now with the track speed. Honda going to be shuffled out here because Porsche have got the advantage in the slipstream and Honda have got absolutely nothing in their locker at all here. They then duck back behind the German manufacturer here too as we come down the start-finish straight in towards the first corner. Now Genesis here on the inside of Porsche. Contact again, 2 by 2 in the background here with Mazda as well. Goodness me, there is action wherever you look, and it's going to go 3 wide in towards these S-bends. How are they doing this?
Right, Mercedes AMD Subaru, 15 seconds in 6 laps, 7 laps now for Miyazono. This is all playing into the hands of Team Subaru. Renault now, and Nissan there with their penalty dropping behind.
You gotta be kidding me.
In third position, which is a prime opportunity for the Italian manufacturer Will Murdoch at the wheel. Every time they come into the pit lane, by the way, they must change driver. So when you see drivers going into the pits, that means that they must change over to their next driver, and they will have to make sure that they are able to try and keep a similar pace as the one who went before them.
Genesis will serve that 0.5 second penalty. That will allow Porsche through up into P5. They go. And it's starting to settle down a little bit.
As Porsche elevate themselves into third place, and Mazda chopping the nose off of Genesis there, and well, that was a bit of a day late, $1 short if you ask me.
And now it's not over yet though, because Mazda alongside the Porsche using that straight line speed. Genesis is going to try and follow them through around the outside, gives the Mazda a little push to allow him through, and now looking to the outside of the chicane coming up. Oh, and then Jinx right at the last second to the inside. Want to move on a bit late though. Mazda in the side barrier, no. Oh, and then contacts, they come back on again. So an interesting move there from Genesis, but I think one's going to probably land them in trouble. Look at them, the spray.
We paid for medium.
Toyota's off.
Yeah, Toyota off, and look here on the inside. Porsche going through into the spoon curve and into second place. Hard tyres there. Look at them, they're tippy-toeing round. Porsche getting themselves up through. Genesis repaying the favour. Toyota struggling to get the car in a straight line. So you're spot on, Jimmy. The intermediate tyres are exactly the compound that these drivers need to be on, regardless of the fact that some of the circuit's still dry. The part of the circuits that are wet are so wet that those dry tyres are going to be about as useful. Oh, McLaren are off! It's really bad indeed! Team Radio, we just heard, straight off into the barrier on the outside of the final corner. That leaves them open to attack from pretty much everybody. Well, Ryuta Kobayashi driving absolutely superbly.
Quicker Honda there, massive understeer on the way in, big slide as the rear tyres did not grip, and you can see from the weather radar there as Genesis and Mercedes now side by side. Will Genesis get by? They do, up into P7. They're using the most of the mistake from the Mercedes, Nissan and McLaren side by side as well.
And in towards the spoon curve in the middle part of the track. This is where it's now getting a little bit drier, darker line beginning to appear. Mercedes on the inside, they've got enough grip to be able to use it, and they get themselves up into 7th place there. So nice driving here from Baptiste Beauvoir. You've got to have a think about BMW there as well, but Genesis, just as it goes so well for them, they pick up a 1 second penalty for gaining an advantage after going off track. That is a Genesis here with the 1 second penalty as they come through into the penalty serving zone there now. BMW go through, and I wonder whether Nissan are going to be close enough. No, not
35 down towards T1. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, and then in the foreground there, Team AMG getting it all wrong, going the long way around. You can see now, Tom, the sun's out. So down the Lamborghini for P2, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Genesis and Nissan again down towards T1. Our 2 cars in the fit there. Genesis finally getting the move done there on Kokoba. Nice move, nice and clean.
0.5. That is incredible. Nice and easy through there. Degner 2 awaits them now. keep it steady, and now try and maybe launch something up the inside to the
So
hairpin.
Honda, Genesis P8, Mazda 9, Renault 10th, McLaren 11th, and Mercedes AMG with a big race certificate there, down in 12th position. But what a final stint that was, though, the Serrano securing that win.
Top 5 starting position for Team Genesis. From the USA, it's Dean Held. From Japan, Yukio Sasaki. And from Spain, it's Nico Romero! From Genesis and Nico Romero, P6 on the grid. Team Toyota, let's see what happens down to the first corner. Team Subaru coming under pressure there with BMW trying to get their overs out on the outside. Are they going to make a move stick? No, and they might come under a bit of pressure here from Team Nissan. Inside, will we see any defensive lines from the cars being attacked in front? Nico Romero knows that. He goes defensive. We've got a squabble for position as well as Nissan up the inside of BMW for third place as well, and Subaru now back into second position as well. Genesis and BMW now going toe-to-toe here for fourth place, and McLaren getting themselves involved in the action. Through the right-hander we go. It's too wide between McLaren and Genesis as they come through the final couple of corners. Who is going to be able to give way here? They're banging wheels as they come through the final corner, and it looks like McLaren are going to get hung out to dry here on the inside. Keep an eye out for Renault in the background there as well. Alex Lopez, the Spaniard behind the wheel, and it's all about the slipstream now down towards T1.
Yeah, Renault's in the slipstream, nowhere to go. It's boxed in. McLaren, they're keeping him behind the Genesis. That's very clever driving. We can't quite see him there because of the pit, but down comes Genesis into T1.
It's a drag to the line, and who takes the checkered flag? It's Toyota by just a tenth of a second over Team Subaru. BMW finishing in third place ahead of Nissan, Genesis, Lamborghini, McLaren, Renault, Porsche and Mazda inside the top 10. Run 3 of the grid is Genesis and Yuki Sasaki. BMW into the braking zone of the Castrol as we go for the first time. Any moves being made there? Genesis having a look on the inside. Nissan versus BMW further behind there as well. Nissan being shuffled out wide. Genesis also into the strike. Renault.
You see the concrete there. Usually you do it in the wet as well. It's quite grippy down there, and Team Subaru a mistake. So Team Toyota a mistake. Our leader has gone from nowhere down to P12. What happened there? We just missed that. So a mistake from Kobayashi there has cost Toyota everything. Here's the replay.
So this is into the carousel. He's going to loop it round, isn't he? Going back onto the concrete. Yeah, just lights the rear tyres up, spins it round. It's such a slow. Lamborghini on the recovery now up to 6th place, now challenging for Genesis for 5th position. There was a bit of hip and shoulder going through there. Genesis got shuffled out wide. Honda picked their pocket also to the inside and surely go past their
circuit ran away. We're looking to the inside.
Looking at here on Subaru as well. 2 Japanese manufacturers going toe-to-toe. Contact off onto the grass there for Mazda. That's going to put them under threat here from Genesis, who say thanks very much and slip themselves up into 4th position.
It's going to be medium tyres at this point. So any risk they can take. You know, second position down towards the hairpin for the first time. I think the Lambo just got launched by the Genesis behind. So here's Genesis, Lambo in front, coming down to T1. And I mean,
top tyres, isn't it?
1 second for that. Like, that's absolutely ruined his race.
As we get a bit of team radio from Genesis.
Just take a breath, focus on the driving. Nothing you can do about it now.
So that indicates to me that they think Nico could have been possibly at fault for that first corner incident.
Unsurprisingly, so did the stewards there. A 1 second penalty, I think, there, given that. I mean, obviously, I don't think it was intentional. I think everyone's very bunched up, and unfortunately, Lamborghini, their race went from very good to now looking not so great.
Renault coming down to the first corner. Genesis versus Mercedes side by side on the exit of turn 2. This is going to be quite close between them. Mercedes back through and into second place. Genesis relegated down into third.
Here's the gap, and it's a long lap here at a Nürburgring. Over an 8-minute lap time as Genesis there. Maybe a little bit of contact from Honda. Drives the back across, and Honda there. The Honda and AMG side by side. Will he get a long way round? He does. Jan Pessoa there overtakes Mercedes AMG, and Baptiste Beauvoir up into second position. And Team Mazda launching it on Genesis from a mile back, and Genesis gets pushed out down to 6th position. BMW going through as well. That's all we've got in real life anyway. Not quite intercepted. Oh, and Mazda and Paul Euro ejected. Look, there's Team Toyota recovering still. Last place, the gap is down to 2 seconds now, with the front almost within slipstream range. AMG there, and Baptiste Beauvoir using all the circuit. I just don't quite think there's going to be enough time. It's so close now. BMW and Honda side by side too, Tom.
Yeah, Genesis also going toe-to-toe with Mazda as we come down the Dottinger Hill. This is the battle for the final podium place. Which of these marks is going to get it? Keep an eye out for Mazda, Genesis and also Toyota in the background, who are on the recovery. Nissan look like they've just got enough in their pocket to hold on to this. Looking it through into the left-handed kick. Oh! BMW biffing into the side of huge drama on the final lap. Team Nissan are going to become the manufacturer's car and ride. Mercedes finishing in second, and Genesis on the podium for the first time ever in the grand final in the Manufacturers' Cup. What a race!
Down at AMG I think that's Matteo Estevez there. I think maybe in tears at this point, feeling really very emotional after that result. We're going to wait and see, of course. Big shunt at the end there. There may be some serious inquiries, but I think there's no doubt about our winner.
From Team Genesis, it is Dean Helt from the USA, Spain, Nico Romero, and from Japan, Yuito Sasaki.
First of all, of course, we've got Dean Helt, we've got Nico Romero, and we've got Yuito Sasaki. First of all, let's talk to yourself, Dean. Third place for Genesis. We unveiled the Genesis Vision Gran Turismo car here tonight. We've got a lot of the Genesis team here this weekend. How does it feel to be able to bring that manufacturer a podium for the first time here?
It means absolutely everything. I mean, this brand spoils the three of us every time we come here for the World Finals. They're so supportive, and yeah, we owe them absolutely everything. And the car looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, I wasn't quite able to do my part of the job. I really wanted to keep us towards the front of the train there at the end, but ultimately, luck was on our side this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Dean. Now let's move over to Nico. Nico, that race was incredibly challenging. You guys were up and down the order and all over the place, and we heard a little bit of sass from you on the team radio as well. And how do you look at that race from your perspective with your stint?
Well, it was quite the interesting race because our car is really bad on the wet conditions. We have no traction. Yuito did an amazing job with what we had. Then I'm sorry for what happened with Lamborghini. I just couldn't do anything else. But I kept my head down, tried to keep up with Mercedes. I even told Lucas to push that I wanted to follow him to the end so we can run away from the guys behind. And then on the final lap, well, I don't know what happened. I was expecting 2 or 3 cars to be off the track, but when I saw every other car and Dian stopping, letting everyone by, I just couldn't believe it.
Nico, thank you very much. Many congratulations to Nico Romero, to Dean Helt, and to Yuito Sasaki of Team Genesis for their 3rd place finish in the Manufacturers' Cup. And before we open the press conference to the media who are here in attendance in Barcelona, we can now reveal our Michelin Driver of the Day.